And these people have no idea why they kept choosing something that hurts them. They really don't know at a high level, you know what I mean? How conscious are they? How responsible are they for winding up there? I don't know. The epidemic of drugs is so bad that it's just like, what up? So I'm pretty liberal, but I'm liberal in terms of how people wind up in certain places, but I'm kind of tired of the drug issue too, so build the wall. I'm worried about saying that because I would have never said that in the past. At this point, I do see it as a murderous situation, so I would say build a better Mexico, build a better whatever country these drugs come from. Wherever the drugs are coming from, why can't their countries be better? Like more enjoyable to live in? Can we have drug cartels running the show? And do they really want to be part of a cartel? You know what I mean? It's all about control, who's the boss. Somebody took over someone's life as a child, and then people will go so far as to be the boss for the rest of their lives, to their self-detriment. So that's how, so people who look good might not actually be good, and they boss people around too much, they control people too much, and then you have people who seek out other ways of staying in control or coping. Wind up in a drug cartel, for reason. Not everybody sees the world that way, but it could be part of a major ingredient list of how people are created. So, right. So we estimate 4 protests today. It would be Palestinian in nature, so 4 is the guesstimated number. But lots of people protesting all over. Not sure what time they're coming out, but anyway, we're blowing the horn in advance in case people didn't know. This Rittenhouse is not really on a campus, so you'd have to go to University of Pennsylvania, which is Ivy League. That's that direction across the river. It's a hike. You can walk it, but it would take a while. Then you'd have to figure out what the protest is or was. Then there's City Hall, of course. They'll probably do City Hall. There's Temple University. Those would be the 2 universities that I would think of. They probably don't do Villanova or LaSalle. That would, probably not. They're not the type. They're smaller schools, and they're more, I guess, biblically inclined. Like, they have certain types of people. I don't know. They just aren't extreme liberals, I guess. I don't know what to. I don't know how you get people riled up or how you get people roped in to protesting. Although I protested myself in New York City against the RNC, the Republican National Convention. It was one of the biggest protests ever in history. They didn't have a lot of news coverage. I don't know why. That's what I thought when I got home. I was like, oh, I can't believe how many people showed up, you know. But that was against Bush in 2004. Then I protested here and there for LGBT rights, but I really wasn't part of a group. So there are people who, you know, grow up in families that have protested their whole lives. They are part of a lifestyle. They are part of orchestrated communities. They know how to get the permit. So these people do have permits. It's not like they just take to the streets. I guess occasionally there could be an impromptu showing of protest where people don't know they're supposed to get permits. So you're supposed to comply with police. It is, in a way, staged. I'm sure they will go past the Apple store. I'll look over there, right? So Apple's around the corner from where I happen to live right now. We have salt and pepper shakers. So anyway, the Israeli-Palestinian sugar straight. Protesters usually come down Walnut Street. So this building seems to think it was the muse for a book, maybe, or songs or artistry. We don't know if that's true, or it could be a decoy. Or you can have intelligent people who produce these things on their own with their own money and all the hard work and slavery that goes with it. So why should someone take the credit as a muse per se? A muse would be inspiration for creative works typically. So Pine Street seems to be cut off, so probably just for road work, but they often are blocked. My guess is protests. City Hall, Walnut Street, we'll be on the lookout. I kind of have a light-ish schedule, so in a way it just works out that I, kind of on the safe side and staying away from, we have to check it out, and staying away from any major issues. Of course, I walk down the stairs all the time because the elevators are too small, so I don't love being on elevators with people in my building, and they have a lot of work to do sometimes, so maintenance and everybody else is all jamming up, So I usually walk the dogs down. So I walk down the stairs and cue someone who, a Middle Eastern guy, I guess more Egyptian, like darker skin, hard to explain. And I wondered how timed everyone was today in Philadelphia. He seemed like a nice guy, but the implication would be, is terrorism an issue? And of course, the FBI guy said that he's never seen so many threats at the highest peak level at the same time in his career, I guess. I don't know, since he's been in charge to be able to say so. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of got that from him, but so we have blacktop going on over here. 1824 and 1822, so I would see the 22 immediately. 11/22/63 is when JFK was assassinated. So 11/22 is also the address on King Road of the Idaho 4 slayings. I saw a news piece, I was like, don't tell me their house is 11/22. What up? Are there actual victims, even though it could be a staged, orchestrated event? Anyway, that's conspiracy, so we won't get into it. On Olive Mary. I think we have spiked hubcaps. I think the main trash company in Delaware, when I lived on Hudson Drive in Delaware with my sister and mom for the most part, 403 Hudson Drive, they had a fire in 2013. It would have been my room, but my mom sold the house in 1988, 88, 89, when I went on to school, because it was part of a divorce deal, like a kind of a silent agreement that my mom would do that, even though she didn't have to. The truth is, she could have stayed there, but she decided to move on and stick to her word. So other people benefited the most, and you know how it is, ladies. So First Wives Club, right? From lower waged groups, right? If you have a lot of money, maybe the first wife gets off with a lot of money, but a breadwinner